The haven bowled us over with their delicious food. The wild oysters served up were of the finest quality and plentiful too. After breakfast, it was time to saddle up our proverbial steeds and get ready for a day of fun and exploration. The idea was to do a west-east traverse of the Cwebe Nature Reserve. It became immediately obvious that no one had driven the track in a very long time. The further we plunged down the steep slopes, the worse the track became. The traverse, which is only 4.5 kilometers as the crow flies, took us the better part of 3 hours to complete.
The ladies are chatting.
Eating.
The men have had to find something to do to keep them busy.
Just as we cleared into open sunlight, the VHF crackled. It's Alan. I have a puncture. Alan and Paula Butler had bought their brand new Land Rover Discovery on its first off-road outing on this tour, and it performed very well. Changing that wheel was not without its issues, as the bush came right up to the track on both sides, leaving little space to work. We came across 2 Cape Nature Rangers on motorcycles who offered to help.
Have you come to save us?
It wasn't far along a bumpy and rutted track, and Breezy Point revealed itself at the foot of a long grassy hill in an idyllic setting. The next radio call came through, this time from Ian van Heerden in the Volkswagen Touareg. I have a puncture. Fortunately, it wasn't a sidewall cut, so a can of Holt's tyre weld solved the problem and kept the tyre inflated all the way back to Cape Town. We took a minor road that follows a ridge down to the Mbashi River. It's a long and continuous descent, requiring gearing down to save on brakes overheating. This was easily the biggest descent of the day in terms of altitude lost and gained, and provided guests with marvelous wild coast views as far as the eye can see.
Every one of these houses is $1 million each.
At the bottom of the gorge is a long single-lane concrete bridge known as the Five King Bridge. The views along this pass are dramatic, with craggy cliffs, steep hilly slopes, with plenty of mud in the winter months, as can be evidenced by the years of regular flood damage. The feeling of isolation was complete in the hushed silence, with just the odd bit of birdsong and the croaking of a frog bringing a sense of reality. At this stage, all the drivers had their Wild Coast driving legs and were into the swing of things, keeping the convoy nice and compact and enjoying all the challenges of never-ending camaraderie.
There's lots of space on the left when you guys come in. And as soon as you guys are ready, we'll amble over to the bar for happy hour.
This was a day of marvelous scenery where one really gets into the true spirit of the Wild Coast.